What's up? I'm back. Welcome to a new video, and this one I'm going to talk about. It's not really complicated, but I think when I do A.T.R videos, I like to explain what do A.T.Rs do that's different from other cultures. It's the primary reason why I do it, because I think A.T.R even to, and when I say A.T.R, it's African traditional religions, and I try to do it from a way that's sub-Sahara based. Not trying to do Kemetic, not even really trying to do Nubian, even though that's kind of, Nubian counts as sub-Sahara, but sub-Sahara based, straight up. And there's a concept of disorder and chaos that the younger religions or the younger spiritual systems didn't get. And when you see why you're unhappy with your life or why bad things happen with your life, that is primarily the reason. People could come and dress it up in all other types of things. People can dress it up as you need to eat better. People could dress it up as you need to practice a certain type of spirituality. People could dress it up as you need to think more positive. But if you don't understand this concept, all those things I just said will not work. All those things are true. All those things I said are true, but there's a concept behind them. There's a force behind them that if you don't understand it, it will not work. And then you may say, what is that force? That's the force of disorder and chaos. In the physical realm, the laws of physics that you see are built on top of another physics, an older physics. Some people call it the underworld. Some people call it hell. Hell is a misconception that's come about when the European went to Africa and seen or had a glimpse of, and when I say Africa, Mayans dealt with it, Aztecs dealt with it, Aborigines dealt with it. It's really more something indigenous cultures of all continents dealt with. I would say the indigenous cultures of Europe dealt with it less. And it's a concept that though our world, our physics, is dominant, and it's the world, and we live in we live in this world, there's something else behind it that causes disorder. Like, we still get a little part of the old world that's still there, and though it can't affect us, its effect on us is limited because we have a lack of understanding of it. It slowly affects us more and more until death comes. And even if you're a person who says there's no such thing as death, only transformation, if you're not transforming in the physical world, if you're not adapting in the physical world, even when you pass, it's kind of like when Max in my video I just previously did, where I said you'll be trapped in the fourth dimension, you'll be trapped in what they call the realm of the dead, and you'll be part, as like in Buddhism said, the wheel of samsara, the wheel of reincarnation, incarnation after incarnation after incarnation, till you get it right. And I think it's parallel with Genesis, when they talk about the serpent in the field, right? This is really, if you can understand this concept, then you can understand what I'm talking about. When you see the serpent in the field, he came in the garden, the God made. He caused disorder. He got Eve, which is the subconscious mind, to do something she wasn't supposed to do, and that later affected the conscious mind, and then they both fell. Disorder always starts in subconscious, and because of your conscious inability to understand and catch it, it then affects the conscious mind. And when they say in the Bible we were living shorter lifespans, the subconscious is also the one that creates the cells in the body. So if disorder gets into your subconscious mind, your physical body will begin to get weaker. Your physical body will begin to get weaker incarnation after incarnation. Your bloodline will weaken, right? The human species is weakened. This is the primary reason why species go extinct. So in A.T.R's African spirituality, largely most cultures didn't have a devil. They didn't have the concept of the devil like they have in Europe and other places, because we didn't look at this energy as bad. We looked at this energy as something that you must address in order to achieve liberation. When you look at it good and bad and evil, or even worse, when you look at it as an illusion and you could just think good thoughts and it's going to go away, that's even worse than saying good and evil. I actually rather you say good and evil. As much as people talk Christianity, Islam, and Judaism have roots in Africa. So when they look at stuff as good and evil, it's not that different than what we were in A.T.R's of practice. It's just a little bit more immature. But if you ignore it, like some people in the East do, say it's an illusion, or you get it even quicker than a Christian. So the key is, when the Bible comes in, and when the Bible comes in and talks about the devil, the serpent, what largely happens is that the serpent represents that order that even in God's creation will come in. There's almost no part of this universe, or at least a part of the universe that's accessible to human and the current human mind, that serpent or that energy is not there. And when we don't know that, it multiplies, it gets stronger and it gets stronger. And the real reason why it gets stronger is because when we look at stability, we think stability is like a building that doesn't fall. We think stability means creating a structure. It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be anything that your mind, that you say can't be broken, right? Can't be broken, can't be conquered. Create a tower that can't fall. That's not what true stability is in the spiritual world. True stability is understanding that chaos will come in anything. It could be a loss of a job. It could be a disease. It could be lack of understanding of a spiritual subject that stops you from getting initiation. It could be a spouse cheating. It could be a pet dying. It could be anything. It could be an asteroid coming to Earth and your species is gone. And in that order, or in that chaos, what ends up happening is that the master understands everything I'm saying will always happen. It's how you handle it when it's happening. And true stability is being flexible. True stability is not rock. True stability is water. That's true stability. And when that happens, the person who understands that can progress. This is why in Kemet, the concept of apotheos or apep was mistranslated into Satan. And apotheos or apep is part of our spiritual evolution. And some of the more mature societies in Europe who became the secret societies, they understood that. In fact, sometimes they equivalent apotheos with Isis, Osiris, and Apotheos. It's a certain type of trinity, meaning that it's a power that's neutral, that when you have a lack of understanding, your mind can perceive it as evil. But it's a power that you have to banish. It's a power that you have to see it would always come in your life. If it comes in your life, you don't panic. The key is, how do you handle it? So when you see in Genesis, when God came in, when Satan came in and disrupted the garden, that's telling you even when God itself creates a structure, it will come in. So if God creates a structure, it will come in. Who is you and I? And this is the concept that in A.T.R's we understood. That's why there's no Satan. In the younger cultures, they don't understand that. So it becomes good and evil. It becomes when that chaos comes in, you panic. Or we do the opposite. We do what some people in the East do and just ignore it or think good thoughts and just say it's illusion. No, that chaos is older than this physics. If I gotta tell you to eat right, think about what you're saying when you say it's illusion. If I haven't told you that you need to eat right for spirituality, you need to sleep, right? You need water, you need air. Obviously, you're not beyond this physics. I don't care how spiritual you are. So when you tell me you can just ignore it and it'll go away, that's like worse than someone who tells me they don't have to eat. So no, you have to address it. And no, you can't judge it. You have to understand that true stability is how you manage that. And if you can manage it well, then that apotheos, that apep, something the eligua, the isu, becomes something that's part of your spiritual evolution. And when it becomes part of your spiritual evolution, you begin to understand nature in a whole different light. You begin to see the true oneness in all things. You begin to see how the alchemists were able to turn poisons into medicine. And in alchemy, until you could turn poison into medicine, and you can see that everything in the physical world can be used in the spiritual world. Everything, even the dung or the shit of an elephant or a cow, can be used in your spiritual work. Then that individual understands oneness. The person who doesn't know that and talk about oneness is only talking about it in lip service. And I think that understanding, because somebody asked me how come there's no, this video was inspired by somebody asking me how come there's no Satan in ATRs. That's the reason why there's no Satan in ATRs, because the culture that would invent Satan is the culture saying Satan shouldn't exist. So that's a culture saying there's a place in the universe that disorder is not there. There is no place in the universe, the accessible universe to our bodies and our mind that energy doesn't exist. But the difference is, in the ATRs, we understood. In the ancient Africans, we understood that if you could manage that disorder, if you get that illness and you learn about healing, you win. If your civilization gets destroyed and you jump to another civilization, you win. That's the difference. If you experience the death of a family member and you help your family member go to a better part of the inner world, you win. You can't do anything. It doesn't matter. God himself will create something, and that order, that energy will be there. But the key is, how do you handle it? So I just wanted to make a short video on that, answer that question, short and sweet. And until next time, peace.